pickleball, signing for 6 homes today. Hanging out with business partners, can't complain.
Big wins.
Life could be
Big
better.
wins.
And you can.
Game on, bro.
I beat you last time.
I know.
Better figure that out.
All right, Nate, no more business talk. Who's winning here? Who's winning today?
I mean, it's like, I'm always beating this guy, so. Actually, you know who I
Hear that?
It's all this guy right there. He's kind of special, but not in a good way.
Is he gonna win?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. He doesn't work. He doesn't do anything.
That's a flex.
That's all he does. And
He's like 12 years old.
And his parents are professional pickleball and tennis players.
He will win. Yeah. We'll try and put up a fight.
Good job.
All right.
I'm one of those.
You can't even find your office. Or a barber.
Let's get Luke. I lost it.
You got that.
Oh, nice. 6-5, or what is it? 6-5.
What's up, everybody? It's Nate here. It is Friday. Gonna decompress, do a little early birthday celebration. So I'm going to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, taking my plane, the good buddy, Mr. Joe Lucia. And so we're getting in the car, gonna head over to the airport. It's all 4 minutes away, and head off to Coeur d'Alene. Watch us.
Big 44, man. How are you feeling?
Feeling great, man. 44 years old, feel like I'm 30. Trying to live the life to the fullest, find fulfillment and happiness, and part of that is be able to choose to go where I want, when I want, and with whom I want. Taking my plane to Coeur d'Alene. 5 hours later, we'll be having some cocktails and a good dinner. Tomorrow, golf. Sunday, boat, and come back on Monday.
What's your biggest lesson this year?
Continue to build relationships, and your time and investment in relationships is going to by far be one of the most important aspects of life. Because money's a conduit to fulfillment and happiness, but the reality is that you can't take it with you. So the relationships and being around people that you love, similar to what we're doing today with Joe and I, is what life's about, and so that's what I'm doing. How you feeling?
Good. You guys gonna be nice and heavy.
Yeah, I know.
Got a lot of baggage.
Thing it's caused fires and all that stuff. Someone who's often disconnected this morning.
I know. I was trying to get a hold of him to see if he wanted to go to the soccer game.
Yeah, that's Mikey for you. All right, Coeur d'Alene, here we go. You can see the plane just landed, so we're gonna have some fun. Joe's gonna embarrass me in golf. It's okay. All right, we made it. We made it. Hey, Coeur d'Alene, windy as hell out here. We have the car driving up to come get all our gear, and we're gonna have some fun. You got a jet flying out right now. Look at this. Get the cover on it. Coeur d'Alene, here we go. Plane's covered that quick. They brought the car to us, all the luggage. Life is good.
Josh is
All right, look. Let's go.
better dive.
Exactly. You're like, what are you doing?
No dessert.
All right, get me on camera here to make it fun.
Okay.
Vlog stuff.
There you go, guy. Casey, you're actually recording this?
All right, how do you look on this one, Josh? Not hitting the water. How about that? What do you think? So you can hit the water?
There he is! Freaking monster!
All right, just landing in Bishop. You'd be surprised because Mammoth gets rained out so much in snow, they have to, a lot of people landing here, and that's the high-tech baggage claim. United will land right there. And so we're just got some fuel and headed to Carlsbad in 1.5 hours. So almost there, almost there. Should I start throwing these things?
Come on, bro.
Are they going in there? How late it is?
Holy shit.
It's $1,000 for this fucking thing?
What happened?
This is a flange between the turbo and the airbox. And if this were to have exploded in here, fragments of this could have went into the turbo and then the engine would have exploded and life would have been very bad. So we replaced it. But I mean, you can even just see that the way they manufactured it, some of the cracking right there. So this didn't happen on this trip, but this got replaced prior to this trip because we caught it. So, all right, we're back in the home, Longevity Labs. So, trip was awesome. We did a day of golf, which was very humbling since I haven't done it in about 2 years. And then we went to a couple nice restaurants. Everywhere we went was actually on a pontoon boat. So, to coffee in the morning, to dinner, to lunch, incredible. Last night we finished off at Tony's. We realized it was an actual old brothel back in the day, funny enough, so we went downstairs, got to see the old rooms. It's kind of a unique history lesson. Now I have a ton of homes that should be closing about 10 or 11 homes based on timing this week coming up, so I need to get some of that hammered out. I have my long-term rentals that are not Section 8 that I'm getting new deals on that I got to finalize today. New property manager, so now we got to get the agreement over to him. And just a bunch of nuanced details. And then we have one of my very close friends and business partner, Mikey's birthday, so we're gonna go celebrate that tonight. Happy birthday, my guy. So let's get after it. All right, so today we are going to Palomar Aviation at Carlsbad Airport. One of my friends, Rick Mossettler, has Palomar Aviation. It's a flight school specifically focused on Cirrus airplanes. So I got my license about 4 or 5 years ago. And Cirrus just came out with a badass new generation called Generation 7, and this plane has the same thing, the parachute and all the stuff, but what it also has is a completely new set of avionics. And so we get to go play with a new plane, go fly over somewhere really fun today, Catalina if you know about it, go grab some lunch, see some beautiful views, and get after it. Okay, so I'll just park in the hangar. Sounds good. See, I'm leaving the office, I'll be there about 5. All right, sounds good. Thanks, Rick. Bye. So there's there's schools that obviously teach people how to fly, and then Cirrus, because Cirrus has such a large market share. Cirrus is a brand of the plane, right? So the Lamborghini of prop planes. You know, they're kind of in the jet world, but from a prop plane standpoint, they are the best of the best. And so then there's specific certified schools for Cirrus. Like you can have Cirrus, you can teach Cirrus flight without being a certified school. And then there's layers to it, and he's the highest. He's a platinum level certified Cirrus school, which is obviously approved by Cirrus representatives. And they, and so yeah, I think he has 6-7 planes now. Obviously Carlsbad being a pretty affluent area, it allows for the right clientele to come in. Typically people that are flying Cirrus are going to be more successful entrepreneurs. You're not going to get like the people that want to go onto the commercial airlines predominantly, because they're going to want it to be less expensive, so they'll run through like this the Cessna schools and just get their hours done as quickly as possible. This is more for entrepreneurs or businesses that want a plane to go from A to B and have an experience in life and not necessarily make flying its profession more than an advantage for utilizing it to get to A to B for a separate type of business or family related needs. My wife and I utilize it all the time to go to Havasu. I go to Vegas all the time for lunch. And these planes specifically too are noticeably faster in the prop plane world compared to the Cessnas and some of the other ones. And so it's just it's a cool school, and we talk all the time about meeting up. So this first time in 6 months that we've hung out, and so we can go have some fun today, get some ocean views and grab some grub and have some fun. So we're 3 minutes from the airport, from the office, so you can't complain about that. And that's where my plane ends up landing and or the helicopter I fly. And so I definitely like to pay for convenience in my life. I think it's critically important. Supports the momentum I have, both personally, professionally, and spiritually. And allows me to not waste time on things I don't necessarily need to waste time on. Hi, my name is Nate Leathers. I'm here to meet Rick Mostetler for Palomar Aviation. I just wanted to be let through the gate. We were doing some recording today and wanted to go over to his hangar, please. Nathan Leathers for Rick. Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'll go ahead and have somebody escort you right now, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Security reasons, right? So, not that it would happen, but if somebody ran through that right now, they'd have to call security, right? It's very regulated when you're on like $10, $20 million jets, right?
They ought to have some type of security, right?
They do.
Oh,
See, that's the Cirrus jet. That's the only jet they have, a single engine jet. Where this specific one right here, that's lights are on, that's the type of prop plane. In fact, one of mine, that might be mine, I'll have to look at the tail number on it, that I rent to the school. Yep, I don't think it is, because it has a striping on it. No, but that's one of the ones I learned in. So that one right, oh, that's not it either. He's on the phone over there, so we'll just wait.
Right? This color is beautiful. Isn't that fun? Yeah, that's a custom color. No, like dark blue on the front.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're here at Palomar Aviation, flying this plane right in front of me here. He's moving a bunch of planes over. We're gonna get in the plane, this will take off, going westbound, and then basically go southwestbound to Catalina, have a great lunch, and this is where I learned to fly. And the incredible part about Palomar Aviation, to start with one plane, one pilot. Now he has numerous pilots and 8 planes. So these planes are anywhere from 600 to $1.5 million. So pretty incredible school. If you really want to learn to fly planes, Palomar Aviation is the way to go, and it's in Carlsbad. So, and this guy really knows how to run a business and take care of his students. So check him out.
Oh, wait.
All right, so we just landed in Catalina. Rick had a great landing. Can be a little bit tricky here, short runway. On top of that, we have a heavier plane, but amazing landing. Now we're gonna grab some grub. This airport's called the Airport in the Sky because it's on top of an actual large mesa. It's about 30 minutes away from Avalon, the main city in Catalina. So can't complain about this. We flew over the ocean today, got to see some amazing views, spent time with a friend and the guy that taught me and encouraged me to get my license. So can't ask for much more. Nate. Shit. How's your day going?
Pretty good.
Good.
So, nice to yesterday. What about you?
It's been good. We're over in Carlsbad, so this is a quick little trip.
Otherwise,
But we were just talking earlier today about how we met like 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
And my daughter was just getting born, and part of what got me involved, similar to what you're talking about, is I was always doing a lot of public speaking, and I always promised I'd either become a pilot or I'd have a jet membership. And I said, piloting is probably a little bit more challenging and you can own it a little bit more, right? So this is when you're relatively new with, I think you were the first year of Palomar Aviation.
We got started in 19.
One plane, one pilot, right? Today you're at 8 planes and probably 11 pilots. So talk a little bit about that journey, but also more importantly, like, I know you love aviation, but I also know, because you stay in contact with me, you love the story. You love the fact that you're impacting these people in a positive manner.
Talk a little bit about that, because I think that goes to the fact that you could easily be retired today, but you're following a passion and really impacting people in a different way.
All right, Rick, appreciate you. Thanks for always showing the love. It means a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely, Nate. That was a fun trip.
Yeah, of course.
Great. Thanks for the hamburger.
Catalina back. What time is it? So we left. Yeah, it's been 2 hours, and
2 hours, hamburger in the middle.
exactly. So,
And you're home by 4:30?
I know.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And then get to go play some pickleball. So
There you go.
check them out, Palomar Aviation, Carlsbad. If you want to learn to fly Cirrus and want the safest plane out there, the best school out there, check Rick out in Palomar Aviation. A lot of fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
This place is, I sold a company a couple years ago doing nationwide restaurant cleaning business.
Yeah.
And some private equity now, so I still consult for them, but I wanted a place that was more like a passion project.
Yeah.
And so me and a good friend of mine, Dakota, that's coming back from Europe today, we decided that we've been talking about doing something like this for a very long time. So it's just more of a networking, passion place. It's really kind of transponded to, you know, people wanting to do business with us, but intention wasn't to do that. It was more just, let's create a space where my 6-year-old daughter can be raised in a healthy growth mindset. My wife, for 15 years, we can just do things that are a little bit different than having to go out. And obviously, when you create a unique space like this, people want to come to it. It's not like it, so it makes life a little more efficient too.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good spot. How you doing, man?
Been good, bro. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Thanks for opening up this spot.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Wow, what a setup.
Hey, Bob Shop as well.
Every
Good to see you face in the flesh, man.
I know, yeah. I was trying to think through. I was like, how do we originally connect? But
It's much smaller. It's only 2,000 square feet. And so,
So is that was Performance Fit, North County Fitness?
no, that was one of the businesses I own. But we had a small version of this, Longevity Labs, about half a mile away.
Oh, interesting.
It was small. We outgrew it, and then we also got a little bit of trouble with the landlord because we had one of our parties, and one of our friends bought a flamethrower. And, well, not a flamethrower if you ask Elon. That's what it's technically called, right? So they didn't kick us out. They just said, hey, you can't have any more events here. We're like, well, part of this is to connect people in relationships, so that's not going to work. So we actually sublease it right now. It'll be done in a couple months, and then this current one, they don't mind having events and all that. They have like some type of democratic something right in the same complex, and he always has a ton of people, and so like I think they're okay with having event-ish type.
Yeah, people, not
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah, not fire. We're like, it was raining. What do you want from us? It was pretty funny. But so then now the space is just more of a networking thing for him and I, passion play. I really enjoy my daughter being raised in an environment like this because it's all growth mindset, people, health, you know, and getting off the screen, doing the thing, working out right now. We have a new deal that just started this week. We were in Havasu and she has this yesterday. We have an issue when she orders food. She goes, I don't like the taste of it. And I say, if you start wasting mommy and daddy's money, you're gonna have to do 25 burpees every single time you do that. All right, so we're here with Steph and Brian today. I've known Brian for many years. I've met Steph today. What we're gonna do is the typical Longevity Labs treatment. All right, just got done with the workout and the cold plunge. So this week is gonna be a really fun week. We're closing on 52 homes. Yes, that sounds like a lot. I'm getting 4 myself. The other 40 something plus is gonna be through my friends. We've spent now a couple of months closing all these homes because they're big packages. And the benefit with this when we're closing on these homes specifically is that one, it's hoping to grow our business. 2, the benefit with these homes is that when you close on these homes, specifically these homes in Michigan, we're going to turn these homes into Section 8 status. What does that mean? Well, that means that people have these vouchers that want to get homes out in Detroit specifically, and because of that, these homes have to have some level of repair. We're not doing big repairs, but just get them to a point where they can meet the standard of Section 8. Then there's more than enough people in line waiting to be able to give their voucher, which means the government pays us to own the home. We own the home, the government pays rent to us for these people that are underprivileged. And so these 50 homes are gonna be turned into Section 8. Half of them already actually have Section 8 tenants in them. And then when you have these portfolios, the government's funding the lifestyle that we wanna live. And for people that wanna understand diversity of investments, I personally like the single family homes because when you have 10 of them and if 1 or 2 are vacant, you're still making plenty of money. Your returns are fantastic. Where if you go into much larger projects like a large multifamily and so that specific investment goes bad, the whole investment goes bad. Where if you're buying 10, 15 homes, if a couple of them are vacant or there's an issue with them, the other 8 plus are performing, your return's still very healthy. So this week's a big week for me and my friends. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. We're gonna add to our portfolio, which for me adds to my legacy and future for my daughter, my wife, and that's what we're doing here.
All right, guys. Just 2 o'clock on Friday. Just got done with multiple hours of meetings and a lunch with my JP Morgan rep. So good day so far. Wanted to answer some questions while I have a small gap in my day here that I keep getting pinged with. So I'm going to read them off that I've put into a page here so I can answer these questions. Somebody asked about what the biggest challenge I faced was this past week and what did it teach me about myself in business. I think a lot of people know this. I'm extraordinarily direct, blunt, and just want to get to the solution as soon as possible. That does not mean that I have no interest in building relationships, but there's a time and place for that. There's a time and place for business, for the way I operate. And so what I learned this week is that we essentially more or less got fired by a property manager, but we kind of forced that behavior predominantly because they couldn't do simple things like getting us access to homes we've purchased because they misplaced keys, or they couldn't reconcile basic accounting functions to show the credits and that are associated with that account. So what it taught me to reinforce the behavior I did, which is create a force function. If somebody's not performing, make them make the decision, or we'll make the decision, and then make the decision early, which is essentially what we did. So it taught me to continue to trust myself in those things. It also taught me I should probably have considered not making it so damn hard on myself, because I got really fired up yesterday about that. And I shouldn't have. Mind you, I let it go very quickly and we already have a solution. So that's the first thing. Somebody asked me too, what's the one decision I made this week that moved me closer to who I want to become? Getting more clear on the goal of this investment thesis that I have, both with the Buyers Club and my personal portfolio. We're really focusing on doing joint ventures and helping people also with significant tax savings, assuming they can qualify for them. And doing those things where I could basically create greater wealth, both from an appreciation and house purchase standpoint, because I closed on 2 more homes this week, should have another 10 next week. It allows me to then leave this legacy, one, by spending a ton of time with my daughter, when I do spend the time with my daughter, educating her on, even at 5 years old, what money means, how you use it as a conduit to find fulfillment and happiness. It is not a derivative of who you are as a person, it is a finite function. And 2, once she obviously grows past 5 years old, me and my wife are going to do our absolute damnedest to make her an amazing human first. I think that's by far the most important. Once she's a great human, she understands philanthropy, she understands giving back, she understands that stuff, and then she makes her own decisions as a human and what she wants to do with her life. Then we can turn over the reins of the empire that we're building, because she has the right morals and values that then will drive that behavior, hopefully for generations to come. Money first and then that, I think, tends to be where things get broken, and so we're going to reserve all that, and frankly probably not be overly transparent until she realizes that life and fulfillment doesn't have a direct relation to it. You need some money to be able to then think certain ways. You're not living paycheck to paycheck, but there's obviously and you guys have heard this a million times, there's a stopping point in life where more money doesn't drive more satisfaction, therefore the ability to think about how to find more fulfillment and happiness. At one point, I think the number of 60,000, I think in this day and age, is probably more than that per year. But the reality is that's the case. She doesn't need 100 homes, 200 homes. She needs X amount, and so we'll want her to earn that. And I talk a lot about this function because everything I'm doing right now is for that legacy for my daughter and my wife and I and generations to come, and the impact I can leave on the community and people around me. So very important. Making great progress with that. Where did I fall short, and how do I plan out better this week? This week I had fallen short on fitness. I probably worked out 3 days this week, being on the 5th day. Not as hard as I'd like, although I worked out 2 a day yesterday. I definitely need to do that, do a little bit more cardio. Tomorrow we're doing a couple hours of pickleball and a workout, so I'm going to make up for it this weekend, but don't like doing that. I can feel itchy, I can feel a little bit more irritable, and so I need to do a better job at that. Who or what reminded me of my why this week? Being back in the office from when I was in south of France a couple weeks ago, it's just this community. Obviously, Dakota, we had a pretty intense podcast yesterday with a person that had a tremendous amount of trauma in their life. And it allows me to reevaluate and reaffirm the fact that this is why Longevity Labs exists. This is why the community that I'm around exists. And although I love the novelty of being in the south of France on a yacht, that wears off quickly. It's the people that I was with that doesn't, and that's what I really love. but it's the being in some level of routine and being around this community definitely reinforces the reasons why I'm doing things and the why. Obviously, seeing my daughter, which was not in the south of France with us, it's been a lot of fun and her growth. So those are the factors. So. Why am I committed to focusing on, what am I committed to focusing this upcoming week? Definitely more fitness, a little more consistent with eating. Did almost too much intermittent fasting this week, which is probably not the ideal situation because on the food I eat at night is probably not as healthy of a choice. Making some functional changes, some of our business modeling so that the disposition of these homes becomes even more fluid than it is. And so we're making some changes on that, and then reinforcing some of these property management from a business standpoint is very important next week. Next week too, I am doing some things. I need to fly more, so next week we're flying to Catalina for lunch for a business relationship, and then next Friday I'm flying to Coeur d'Alene. So I got a shortened week, which means I got to focus even more so on at least the business side of things, and obviously then the time I spend with my wife and my daughter. So overall, incredible week. I always feel like, at least when I go to bed at night and when I'm here, I don't have a ton. I have bad days and I get frustrated as I did yesterday, but I don't go to bed or during the day, rarely ever, at least professionally, and most of the time from a fitness standpoint, feeling like I should have accomplished more. I feel somewhat fulfilled in the fact that if things didn't move as fast as they should have, I can have some level of irritability there internally, which is just a positive discontent. It's a term I use. Function, meaning I always want to do better, even though I felt like I had a good week. But I'm not like, damn, I wish I could have done more this week. I just never really feel that way because, I work extremely hard and I have a purpose behind it, and then I work extremely hard in relationships, marriage. We had our date night last night, even after a hard fucking week or day yesterday. It was a very rough day yesterday. To be able to, one, speak the truth to my wife about that, have her just be there and hear it, which is important. Sometimes just listening, or in her case, hearing, and not having to verbalize anything else is what people need. And then having a lot of fun. Had a few drinks, got to chat, talked a little bit about the future and all the things we're doing. So that was very enjoyable. And so I'm committed to next week, just probably trying to move the needle further than I did this week. So just more actionable things, which we already have listed out. We're moving to a whole new bookkeeping team next week. My main bookkeeper is still with me. She's just going to really focus on my personal side of my life because I think I have 35 or 40 LLCs, and so we need more of a team, which we have now built around that. And so that'll be something that we'll really focus on next week as well. So a lot of moving parts. People constantly say, Nate, what the hell do you do all day long? And the answer is, it depends on the day, right? But a lot of different things, and it's a lot of fun, and it creates a certain legacy that I'm really trying to achieve. It makes sure that you leave the right impact for people, and you just have to really understand and stay very focused on those goals and be very committed mentally to that, and trust yourself. I think it's a huge thing. Is if you have fear or other things that, yesterday's podcast, shame for this individual, or anything that's basically corrupting your ability to do that, then I think that it's incredibly important that you remove those distractions. Some are easier than others, and just really be committed to what you're trying to accomplish personally, professionally, spiritually in your life. And the beautiful part about Longevity Labs and what we're doing here is generally this environment drives that behavior and demands it to some level. And if you don't have that, you probably don't last, definitely in this building, very, very long, but you definitely won't even last in the friends group, because excellence in those areas, not just business, as most people know me because they don't see the other side of things that I have, is incredibly important for my life, my wife's life, my daughter's life, and the loved ones around me, because that's everything. It's the infinite game, and it's the fulfillment, the desire, the love that we get to experience on a daily basis, no matter how frustrating the day can be. So that's the recap of this week, and can't wait to get some sun tomorrow. One of my friends asked us in pickleball, probably grab a couple drinks, probably drive the McLaren because I generally don't drive that as much during the week, and just love the weekend. So appreciate the questions, guys, and let's have some fun.